Welcome to Primetime Analysis. I am your host, Victor Onyango. Now, Chenua Achebe, in his book Things Fall Apart, wrote that when an alligator comes out of the water one morning and tells you that the crocodile is sick, do you doubt it? This is the case with our Kenyan judiciary. Lawyer Ahmednassir Abdulahi has been on the case of our current Chief Justice Martha Koome. And this is with regards to serious leadership shortfalls and high levels of incompetence that is shown in our courts. In this case currently, one of the main issues that he is pushing home is the fact that Honorable Sabina Chege obtained a court order that in his own judgment did not qualify to be one, because in his Twitter handle he notes that when I saw the controversial court order issued in the Hon Sabina Chege's case, I quickly realized court orders in Kenya are like chips sold over the counter in fast food restaurants, prepared quickly, served hot, and available to all who can afford. It is a broken system. This is a senior counsel telling you that the Kenyan judicial system is a broken system. But at the point when the name of Martha Koome was proposed to lead the judiciary, Ahmednassir Abdulahi was among the first lawyers to call her out and say that if she gets that post, then it would mean that a grave level of incompetence will be transferred to our judicial system. And in his support, there was Nelson Havi, who then was the president of the Law Society of Kenya. And in his opposition, they noted that our main worry is something that her 18 years as a judge has revealed. This was in opposition towards her nomination for appointment as Chief Justice. They petitioned the Judicial Service Commission. And one of the incidences that Nelson Harvey quoted was the issue about a controversial ruling or judgment that was made one Saturday in 2017 against an order that had been obtained earlier from the High Court, led by, ruled by Justice Odinga. Justice Odinga, in his ruling, noted that the appointment of 292 constituency returning officers by IEBC was unconstitutional and illegal. And therefore, these judges in the Supreme Court sat in the night on a Saturday and delivered a judgment ex parte overturning what had been ruled earlier. So one of the issues that these brilliant lawyers were asking about Justice Koome's competence was the ability to stand and vouch for her independence when it comes to issues relating to delivery of justice. By then, they were allied to the state, which was the Jubilee government. And you remember that at that time, the president of the Court of Appeal was Kihara, who was later on appointed as Attorney General. So if you look at how these things went around, you will be convinced that even her appointment, to some extent, had some state involvement. Ahmednassir Abdulahi and Nelson Havi have for many years talked about the incompetence in our judiciary and the high level of corruption in the corridors of justice. Ahmednassir, in many instances, has called out. We remember the tiff he had with the then Chief Justice Maraga. Right now, you see how he's been pushing Martha Koome. And even during the radical surgery in the judiciary, Ahmednassir was very, very prominent in the judges' vetting. And even if you remember the interviews that they conducted about the Chief Justice, where they hired Mutunga, the questions they were asking were directed towards assessing whether judiciary could remain independent in a highly political country. Previously, you remember, during the celebrations of Madaraka Day, Martha Koome came to the event in Embu with a state-of-the-art vehicle. And many Kenyans gave their opinions over this vehicle. It turns out this vehicle was around 50-something million Kenya shillings. And when they talked about it, it seems the judiciary was spending much of its resources on giving luxurious treatments to the judiciary personnel, and not considering the type of service they're supposed to deliver. Questions abound of why our courts still have a lot of backlog and cases take long to be determined. They say that justice delayed is justice denied. Why are courts still taking long to make serious decisions? And these are some of the commitments that Martha Koome gave during her interview, that she will work through her collegiality strategies to ensure that within the ranks of the judiciary, they find a sustainable mechanism of clearing out and facing out cases that have taken quite some time. There is this interesting tweet also that Ahmednassir Abdulahi gave, and he noted that traffic policemen stop tens of thousands of motorists on Kenyan roads every day. Yet they collect 0 shillings in fines but pocket millions. Judges are the same. They receive millions in bribes daily, but none is removed by the JC headed by CJ Koome. Both the police and judges enjoy immunity from the law. That is why I always repeat the mantra, Kenya's problem is a rule of law problem. That's deep, and it really puts a serious question on the character of Martha Koome's tenure. And I know that this is not specifically about Martha Koome, because corruption in judiciary has been something that has been talked about in many years. It has never ended. But with the way in which this current regime is, the only savior for Kenyans is an independent judiciary. But when a judiciary has started to be overbearing to the citizenry, there is a level in which Kenyans can get tired, and Kenyans can decide to say that we will never go to the judiciary to seek justice in anything. So this is a question that Martha Koome, wherever she is, must find a good strategy to ensure that she addresses herself to this question. We know that currently any critical issue that is brought forward is countered by bots. You realize that when you are against or you propose a given policy issue that is opposing, let's say, the government, you will find lots of Twitter bots employed to castigate you and give you names. And that is something that I had seen happening to Ahmednassir Abdulahi some days ago. So it seems the judiciary also paid some bloggers to find a way in which they can also reply and castigate Abdulahi in his thoughts. We remember also that during the ruling of BBI, CJ, Martha Koome, and Ahmednassir Abdulahi were at cross purposes, because in that ruling, the CJ singled out senior counsel Ahmednassir Abdulahi, who was also a former Law Society of Kenya president. He also singled out Nelson Havi and lawyer Esther Angawa. And this is what the judge said. The contests of some of those commentators commentaries were, in our view, meant to influence, intimidate, or scandalize the court. This, unfortunately, is emerging, and unless checked, it will erode the confidence and dignity of the courts. Yes, some of these comments work and can erode the dignity and confidence of the public towards the court. But when you carry out yourself in this kind of manner, when judges engage in open corruption, called out by lawyers who are prominent and are daily participants in that system, what is the JAC doing? They do nothing because they are also under state capture. So I can assure you that going by the ruling that was given in the 2022 general election, next election might not go to the Supreme Court because the person who brought Kenyans' confidence to this Supreme Court was Maraga. And the ruling that they gave, it made Kenyans know that even if everything does not work for us, our courts will work for us. Now you realize that the rulings that are being given, like the one Sabina Chege got, it is something questionable. People have asked the jurisdiction of the court order or of the judge or of the court that dispensed of this issue. Was it questioned? Because if there is an issue about a matter that is involving political parties, the first port of call is the internal party disciplinary issues organs. Then after that, you head to the political parties dispute tribunal. After that, you go to the High Court. Then now you realize that Sabina Chege went to the High Court, left these two options, and then our independent speaker tells us that there is a court order stopping him from acting in a certain way. Surely, judiciary must decide on whose side it is. It should be on the side of justice, but it has chosen to be on the side of money. We wait to see how things turn out. Let me know your comment. Let me know your opinion about the issues surrounding the judiciary, whether it is independent. Is it really independent? If it is not, what do you think can be done to improve on its independence? Let's get communicating down in the comment section. And please, if you're watching this for the first time, please take a minute or two to subscribe to our channel. And then again, what you can do, give this video a thumbs up. Thank you, and let's meet in our next video.